Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It is 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. As you can see, I just got back from a walk. I was so fired up this morning. I initially made a video talking about my read on this racial equity, harm reduction, racial equity, with this the Biden administration, the Health and Human Services proposal. Harm reduction, this whole pipe thing. And then I started reading the comments on the first video. Man, I was right on target. I don't know how many times I saw the old "Let's Go Brandon," and just a plethora of nonsense. All right. I want to talk about one comment, and this is just one out of many. This is the reason why I have to pick a specific time to read these comments, because on my whole walk for the last hour, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. All right, before I get into the whole racial equity part and what it means to me, a recovering addict, let me talk about this one comment out of 50 or 60 something. Okay. This one comment, I can't remember whose name it was. I wouldn't say it anyway, but he takes me to task. He says my reading retention kind of sucks. He quoted a Snopes. I actually put a link down to Snopes in that article. All right, now let me say this first of all. Okay, we all know how these fact-checking sites work. Initially, there's like three parts. Initially, they put like the incident, the statement or whatever first. You know, what was said or what was seen or whatever, the initial, whatever is up for argument. Right? That's number one. Number two is usually the rumor or the misconception, if it is a misconception, what people are saying, right? And then number three is the situation actually explained, and if it's, false, if it's a lie, if it's pants on fire, or whatever. Three parts, okay? So this comment, the person takes the first part, just a snippet of it's basically a snippet of the Biden administration saying about racial equity. That was a mistake saying that too. And it said the part about smoking kits, they could have put that better. They should have explained what it was, like alcohol swabs and lip balm and stuff like that, but they didn't. Okay, so he puts that one first piece, he then says my reading retention basically sucks, and well, he calls me a lib. That's a compliment, honestly. But so I'm like, you got to be kidding me. First of all, I don't think this guy is that stupid. He must, he took basically the first piece, whatever served him, a snippet, a cherry picking, and he did not include, the whole point of this Snopes article at the bottom, where it explains how there is no pipes involved. That explains the whole thing. It doesn't. I don't think it really explains the racial equity part. But and then so this guy had the audacity, the cojones to actually question my reading retention. Wow, when he basically cherry picked, either his reading retention sucks, or more than likely he was being disingenuous. All right, okay, this is serious now. The whole part about racial equity. All right, you guys know I'm a recovering addict. Now let me tell you what I think this means. I don't think this means one particular person, race above another. I think it means the neighborhoods. Okay, I don't want to get into the whole socioeconomic thing, explaining why there's more drug markets in Spanish areas, in Spanish American or Hispanic areas, and African American areas. There is, and there's reasons for that. Basically, these neighborhoods are being used because of the limited choices. You dangle, you show somebody a $10 an hour paying job, or a $1,000 a day paying job, with half the work. It's a very tempting offer, But these neighborhoods and these neighborhoods, whatever nationality or race they are being used just as a throwaway tool, to make these higher up dealers money. That being said, okay, from what I saw, people, I would leave my neighborhood 10, 15 miles away, drive the 20 minutes into the city, either one area to get one kind of drug, one area to get another kind of drug. Now, this is the thing. Every single time, I did this thousands of times, and all the other addicts that I knew did the same thing. As soon as it was purchased, they would use immediately that craving. There's no way. I've never seen anybody be able to sit back, like in the car or whatever, and take the 20 minutes or half hour or whatever ride home, walk into the house, go into this room. No, that's not how it happens. Immediately, every single time, people would use in the car, people would use in bathrooms, alleyways, behind buildings, under bridges, every single time. That's where the initial use would happen, to get the Jones off, to get rid of the craving. Every time. And also, if you've got a batch mixed with something else, that's where the overdoses would happen. So when the Biden administration comes out with this, because there's, and then people will take these things home and use them in a bathroom. And of course, there's going to be ODs then again too. But if it's a bad batch, a lot of times, the vast amount of ODs, I would imagine, would happen right off the bat in that first use in those neighborhoods. So why not equip those neighborhoods with methods to prevent overdose, to prevent harm, for harm reduction? It makes sense. Because when when people like the person I used to be would run down with this craving into this neighborhood, as soon as it was in your hands, you would use it. And if something bad was going to happen, chances are it was going to be right there and then in that neighborhood. That's why, that's why it makes sense. Then you get somebody like Tucker Carlson spinning it like, well, Biden doesn't care about Caucasian people at all because he's not, and that whole thing was disingenuous too. I think Narcan, fentanyl test kits are included in this, clean syringes. Narcan, let me talk about Narcan for a minute. Before the epidemic, for 3 years, I worked with a group called Artists Against Overdose, against AAO, Artists Against Overdose. And I donated an average of 3 or 4 of my paintings every year to a silent auction that was used to buy Narcan to prevent overdoses. I actually donated my paintings to help prevent overdoses myself. And to see somebody like Tucker Carlson take this and just spin it into some kind of thing that's designed to just pit one, to get Caucasian people angry. That's all it was designed to do. And it was all disingenuous, a lie, everything he said. This explains, though, that I think the Biden administration and our human health and resources could have explained this a little better. This is my understanding of racial equity. It makes sense, like I said, because this is where a lot of the initial use and initial overdoses would occur immediately after buying and purchasing these things. It would happen right there in those neighborhoods. So why not try to equip these neighborhoods more to prevent this? Just makes sense. All right, I hope that helped from my point of view, from a recovering addict who was in that for over 2 decades. That's my take on it. All right, you guys have a great Friday.